What's going on, guys? Here we are back again with a new repaint video, and we have the new Camp Cretaceous Parasaur figure here, and whoo, man, it is lacking again in the paint department. Similar to the Seats, man. Look at that. The toes aren't painted. No, they're just solid plastic yellow. Oh my goodness, there's no paint on the tail. Oh boy. So I dig the bioluminescent vibe that it's got going on. I get what they're trying to do. Unfortunately, it's just kind of poorly executed on this figure here. But we are repainters and we are customizers, and repainting dinosaurs is what we live for. If Mattel made perfect paint apps, then we'd be out of a job.
Don't you mean extinct?
So we're going to go over the colors real quick that I'm going to use on this thing. All of these colors are available at Walmart, so when you go and buy this figure, swing over to the arts and crafts section and pick up some of these paints. First off here, we have the Waverly matte finish acrylic paint, and the color is Merlot, so it's like a wine color. And right out of the bottle, this is not going to match straight up with the dark purple stripes that are on this figure, so you are going to have to mix it with some black. Just a couple of drops of black onto your palette into this stuff right here. Mix it around, test it out, see if it looks good. There's no real mix ratio. You're gonna have to just play around with it. But remember to thin it down with a little bit of water so it doesn't get all chalky. Next up, we're gonna go with some of this color shift. My favorite, I love color shift paints. This is the gloss finish, obviously, and the color is Pink Flash. Very similar in tone to this thing right here. So grab you a bottle of that. Next up, you're going to get some antique parchment or any sort of off-white, because we're going to have to do this belly here, and the belly is only painted right from here to here. So you're going to need to do the bottom of the tail and the neck, of course, and then once you've got all your paint on, of course, towards the end, grab some Mod Podge and seal that paint up. Keep it thin and do a couple of different coats, or several different coats to really protect that paint. You don't want it scraping off. And then go ahead and grab some paint brushes here while you're there. You're going to want to make sure you have a nice big paintbrush for dry brushing, and have a couple of smaller, finer tip paintbrushes for line work, eyeballs, etc., stuff like that. So enough talking, guys. We're going to go ahead and get painting. So I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the box, and we're going to get started. Alright, so starting off, I want to lay down all of my base stripes first with that dark maroon color, taking the Merlot and the black mixture and thinning it down with some water to help with flow and to sort of cut down on the chalkiness of the paint, because the Waverly paint that I have, it actually is a chalk paint, so if you put it on too thick, it will dry with a chalky consistency kind of finish, so you don't really want that. So thinning it down with some water will really help with it not coming out so chalky looking. But the sort of pattern that I'm going with on this thing, I started to think while I was doing it, because I'm sort of making it all up as I go. I was like, what would this thing look like with sort of a chaos effect 90s pattern, real exotic, real crazy looking. So I kind of went with some tiger stripes, kind of these pin stripes going down the side, and decided to do some leopard print spots on its arm and everything like that. Add, the lines that kind of like the stripes down the sides of its eyes. Just kind of getting wild, kind of crazy with it, Really, this is the point where, this is a blank canvas, so you guys can be super creative with this and kind of come up with your own patterns and designs if you don't want to copy what I'm doing. But yeah, this is total. You can take creative license with this sort of thing, and that's what I really enjoy about repainting stuff, is the creative licensing. You get to really express, yourself, and in an artistic kind of way on these action figures, and it comes out really awesome in the end, I think. But now I'm taking that same Merlot mix, and I've actually thinned it down and shot it through my airbrush to blend in a lot of fades on the arms. I thought it would look really cool to make this thing really maroon and shine and kind of stick out a little bit, sort of like an alpha, male parasaur or something like that, real bright and vibrant. You can achieve this sort of with dry brushing if you don't have an airbrush, but the airbrush really comes in handy having it. So now I'm taking the color shift paint, and we're going to be doing some dry brushing with it, basically brushing most of that color shift off and doing real light layers, because this is gloss, so it's going to be kind of hard to get it to sort of stick where we want it. So you want to do real thin layers on the parasaur while you're doing it. but I'm just really going over and hitting all the high spots because I want it to have that color shift sort of shine when the light hits it just right. Like one direction it'll look like it's maroon and pink, and the other direction it'll kind of have like a blue tone, real dark purple and stuff like that. Just going real crazy with it. So now I'm taking that parchment color, and I've actually thinned it down to shoot it through my airbrush, just because it's easier to get a smooth application with this white. You can dry brush this on if you don't have the airbrush, but having the airbrush with it really helps to get it that nice blend, that transition from the white and the yellow. Now I'm taking that same white and I'm doing a little tiny white dot on the eyeball, just making the eyes white. I thought would look really cool, very kind of creepy nighttime parasaur kind of thing. Now I'm taking the black and painting the claws all black. Pretty straightforward there. And then I'm going to take the Mod Podge when I'm done here, and I'm actually going to take it, thin it down a little bit with some water, and just brush it all over the parasaur to seal all that paint in. You don't really have to worry too much about the yellow areas, you know, because there's not any paint really on it, so rubbing or anything like that, but focus a lot on the joints, you know, where you think plastic on plastic might rub. But other than that, this repaint is done. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found the information provided useful, and you're able to get out there and repaint some dinosaurs and make them look super awesome. Remember, for more Jurassic Park related content, you guys know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I will see you in the next video.